ball. And for the final two words of our pregame ceremony presented by Webster Pub, welcome youngsters from the Oxford Lassie League. Let's hear it, kids!
Well, Cristopher Sanchez is pitching like an ace for the Phillies. The Padres put up 9 runs in 1 inning at Fenway. 2 shutouts on Friday, including a 1-0 winner for the Cardinals over the Reds. You know I love the 1-0 games, and the Yankees using 2 big innings and avoiding a 5th straight loss. Steve Lennox, LenoxOnBaseball live stream podcast. We are recapping day number 93 of the Major League Baseball regular season. We're going to open up with That's Baseball, and for the second time in a few weeks, the San Francisco Giants playing baseball, where they learned the news that one of their legends and Hall of Famers pass away. Willie Mays, a few weeks ago on Friday, we say, rest in peace, Hall of Famer Orlando Cepeda, the legend from Puerto Rico, dying on Friday at home with his family at the age of 86. 17 seasons in the major leagues, 1958 through 1974. He played for the Giants. He played for the Cardinals, the Braves, the A's, the Red Sox, and the Royals. Mr. Cepeda, inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1999. 379 career home runs. Rookie of the Year in 1958. NL MVP with the Cardinals in 1967. 3 World Series, and winning the World Series with the Cardinals in 1967. In the World Series in 62 with the Giants, in 67 and 1968 with the Cardinals. Rest in peace, Baby Bull. Rest in peace, Mr. Orlando Cepeda. And I encourage you to read Chris Half's story on Orlando Cepeda, available on the San Francisco Giants website, also available on MLB.com. And that's baseball. We are recapping day number 93, the Major League Baseball regular season. We do start with the Giants. Little lump in the throat. And I don't know to say this, but again, for the second time during a Giants game, I believe the first time with Mr. Mays, the Giants were on the road. Last night, the Giants opened up a series against the Dodgers. And they do it with the news during the game that Orlando Cepeda passed away. First of 3 in the Bay Area between the Dodgers and Giants. And how about it? Brett Wisely, 2-run home run, a walk-off home run up Lake Trinan, and the Giants picked up the victory. The walk-off home run coming in the 9th inning. Giants win it 5-3. Jason Hayward tied the game at 3 with a sac fly in the top of the 9th inning for the Dodgers, and then the heroics for Wisely in the bottom of the 9th inning. Matt Chapman and Luis Montos also homering in the win for the Giants, who have now won 4 of 5. Cristopher Sanchez might want to ask for another contract extension from the Phillies, because since signing his new contract, Sanchez has been an ace. Terrific outing, last time out, terrific outing, and going the distance. The 27-year-old lefty went all the way, tossed a 3-hit complete game shutout against the Marlins on Friday. Sanchez gave up 3 hits, 3 singles, walked no one, struck out 9. 6-3 on the season with a 2.41 ERA. Earlier in the day, the Phillies placing Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber on the injured list. Bryson Stott, both RBIs for the Phillies. Rob Thompson on Sanchez. He's come so far. Now he's a dominant pitcher in Major League Baseball. Yes, I vocalized wanting a couple of guys to be all-stars this year. Cristopher Sanchez, I would make a real argument that he belongs on the National League All-Star team. You've got Wheeler, you've got Ranger as well. They've both gotten off to great starts, but Cristopher Sanchez has been right there in the middle. A couple of bumps in the road, but he's pitched very well in the last 2 outings for the Phillies. He's pitched like an ace. Astros and Mets both got to 500 on Wednesday. Series opener at Citi Field Friday night. Mets are now a game over 500 with a 7-2 victory, and the Astros dropped down to a game below 500, 40-41 for the Astros at the midpoint of the season, but give them a lot of credit for getting to that 500 mark. They have not been over 500 at any time this season. Pete Alonso, Tyrone Taylor, Jeff McNeil all hitting home runs in the win for the Mets, who are now 18-6 over their last 24. 4 Met relievers out of the bullpen combining for 5 scoreless innings. Jose Altuve, being Jose Altuve, led off a game with a home run. 39th time in his career he has done that. Yordan Alvarez, 3 hits and a walk, on base 4 times. Ronel Blanco gave up the 3 home runs to the Mets, took the loss. Blanco, all-star, now 8-3 on the season. Mets infielder Jose Iglesias, a sign of the times. The Mets are running with grimace, and they're running with OMG. Jose Iglesias, I don't believe any relation. I haven't heard his song OMG. I'll put it on my to-do list. But the Mets had a fireworks night on Friday night. Sellout crowd at Citi Field. And I did not realize he was doing this until I saw the video afterwards. But Iglesias, before the fireworks went off at Citi Field, performed the song on the field. Do I have any problem with that? Absolutely not. Did I know it was going to happen? No. Was I shocked? Yes and no. That's going to happen again. We've had players sing the national anthem. We've had plenty of talented baseball players be musicians. But Iglesias last night sang his song after the game. Lights out, lights flashing, all those things. And Iglesias, he nailed it. And he's really been a big part of what the Mets have done here in the last couple of weeks as well. Colton Cowser, home run, 4th inning. Gunnar Henderson made it 2-0 with an RBI single in the 5th. Orioles, 2 runs and enough to beat the Rangers 2-1. Orioles have taken the first 2 games of the series. They've won 3 straight after losing a season high 5 in a row. Albert Suarez earned the win, 6 scoreless innings. Max Scherzer gave up the 2 runs, took the loss. Rangers lost 5 in a row in the middle of June, then won 4 in a row. Now they've lost 5 in a row again. Again, the Orioles have taken the first 2 games of that series. Perhaps they were blowing off some steam, letting their frustrations out on the Blue Jays, whatever you want to call it. The Yankees did it Friday night. It worked. Yankees unload on the Blue Jays, 16 runs, 18 hits, win the game 16-5. Series even 1-1. Yankees scoring 6 runs in the 6th inning, added 2 more in the 8th inning, 7 runs in the 9th inning. Juan Soto, Gleyber Torres hitting home runs in the 6th. Aaron Judge, 3 hits, 2 RBIs, 3 runs scored. The win snapping. The Yankees, 4-game losing streak. Vlad Guerrero Jr., Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, both hitting home runs in the loss. If you see some video of this game, the highlights, the Yankees didn't turn a double play behind Marcus Stroman up the middle. Stroman, some people love him. Some people, I saw last night, worst teammate ever. I don't know that it goes that far. I do think he showed up. Gleyber Torres, there was a shot of Aaron Judge talking with Stroman in the dugout as well, basically saying, hey, we've got to handle this better. Maybe he said something along the lines of, we don't do that here. But when Torres hit his home run, Stroman was the first out of the dugout. Has he worn out his welcome in other places? I think you could probably say that to a certain degree. But Stroman is a talented pitcher. Emotions perhaps getting the best of him, but showing up your teammate like that, not only showing his frustration on the mound, but also when he got to the dugout as well. Padres, Red Sox, 1-3 at Fenway on Friday. Padres sent 13 batters to the plate in the 5th inning. Scored 9 runs on 8 hits and a couple of walks against Red Sox starter Nick Pivetta and reliever Greg Weissert. First 9 batters reached in the inning before an out was recorded. Kyle Higashioka, 2-run home run. If Higashioka continues to hit home runs, I'm going to continue to smoothly go through that name. 2-run home run off Pivetta for Kyle Higashioka. Jackson Merrill, 3-run home run. That shot off Weissert. Stephen Kolek, 2 scoreless innings in relief, got the win. Connor Wong did have an RBI single to put the Red Sox up 1-0 in the 4th inning. Wong celebrating the birth of his second son with his wife. Kruk Wong is the name of the second Wong child in the family. So a tip of the cap to the Wong family and a congratulations as well. Wong extending his hit streak to 14 straight games. Padres, there you go. Mike Schilt, Padres. They've won 4 in a row, 8 of 9. I'd have to go back and look at the quote, but basically said a couple of weeks ago, hey, I'm not worried about this club. Trust your manager sometimes, right? Most of the time. Let's say most of the time. Trust your manager. Alec Burleson knocked in a run. Sack fly 3rd inning. That proved to be enough. Andrew Pallant, 4 Cardinal relievers combining on a 1-0 victory against the Reds. A winner for the Cardinals. And that series now even 1-1. 2 more to go Saturday, Sunday. Reds managing just 4 hits, went 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position. Jonathan India has a couple of nice streaks going. India, 2 hits in the loss for Cincinnati, including a double. He now has 7 straight multi-hit games. That's impressive. get some of these hit streaks. There's one first, then you get a 2-hit, then you get another one for, remember earlier in the season, I think it was Ketel Marte, 21 in a row. His batting average actually went down considerably during that hit streak. So India, 7 straight games with a multi-hit game, 10 in a row overall. Ryan Helsley, 9th inning for the Cardinals, recorded the save, his Major League best, 29th on the season. Brendan Donovan made a catch at the wall to end the game. Did not see it yet, but evidently it was right there at the wall in a 1-0 game. Donovan helping out Helsley, helping out the Cardinals as well. Marcell Ozuna, 3-run double. Matt Olson delivering a run-scoring single. Adam Duvall added an RBI double. All for Atlanta in a 5-run third inning. Braves opened up their home series with a 6-1 victory against the Pirates. Austin Riley got Atlanta on the board in the second with a solo home run. Martin Perez giving up 6 runs, tagged with a loss, falls to 1-4. Charlie Morton did not allow a run over 6 1/3 innings. Gave up only 3 hits, walked 1, struck out 7, picked up the win, his 5th on the season. Like this tidbit, Morton, who did pitch 7 seasons with the Pirates, now at least 1 victory against every major league club, accomplished that with the win over the Bucks on Friday night. Brian Reynolds did collect a hit in the 8th inning, able to extend that hit streak to 24 in a row, the longest active hit streak in baseball, and the longest hit streak in baseball this season belonging to the Pirates, Brian Reynolds. Jackson Chourio, mentioned already in the Padres game, where home run from their young, talented player came up as a shortstop, and Jackson Merrill. So you've got Merrill, you've got Chourio. And maybe you know where I'm going with this, as I was looking for Merrill's name. I stumped there, struggled there for a second. But anyway, Chourio, I think just 20 years old. Merrill, shortstop, playing the outfield. You really have to not sneak them into the conversation, but when you're talking about Bobby Witt Jr. and Gunnar Henderson, those two are talented. I don't know if Jackson Merrill moves back to shortstop in the future. Hassan Kim is a free agent at the end of the year. The Padres might have that luxury to move Merrill back to shortstop. I don't know if that benefits him or it's a disadvantage, but Chourio is, who knows, 5-10 years down the road, maybe he's the best of this young bunch of shortstops. Chourio, though, first career big league grand slam in the 4th inning for the Brewers on Friday at home against the Cubs. And the Brewers take the opener. I really do want to call it Miller Park, even though I know it's no longer known as Miller Park in Milwaukee. Colin Ray, just the perfect name, right? Colin Ray picked up the win for the Brewers, now 5-3. Or rather, the Brewers are now 5-3. 8 meetings between the Cubs and the Brewers so far this season. Yes, Craig Counsell did get booed again at not Miller Park, but in Milwaukee. Ray gave up 2 runs on 3 hits over 5 1/3 innings. And Brewers manager Pat Murphy, after the game on his 20-year-old shortstop, said the kid is learning. He's made the most of his opportunities lately. And there you go. You'll love to hear that. Jamison Tyone taking the loss through that pitch to Chourio and said, "Stupid mistake." That was his quote. I say that at least 3 times a day with the things I'm doing. Honesty from Mr. Tyone. Stupid mistake. Move on. Royals, are they making a statement at home here? They've taken the first 2 against the Guardians. 10-3 victory for Kansas City at Kauffman Stadium on Friday. Royals 4 home runs in the win. And 2 of those against starter and losing pitcher Tristan McKenzie. Salvador Perez tied the game at 1 with a solo home run in the second. Hunter Renfroe followed next, broke the 1-1 tie with his 8th home run on the year. Kyle Isbell, Vinny Pasquantino also homering later on in the game for the Royals, who had 13 hits, but they also had 8 walks as well. Jose Ramirez, home run for the Guardians, solo shot in the first inning, his 22nd on the year. The Guardians now scuffling just a bit. They've lost 3 in a row. Royals continue to get starting pitching, good, solid starting pitching of late. Alec Marsh gave up a home run, that home run to Ramirez that we just mentioned. He went 6 strong innings, picked up the win, his 6th on the season. Tanner Bybee, Cole Reagans, the probable starters, the scheduled starters for Saturday as the Guardians try to get a win in the series and avoid a 4th straight loss. Angels won again. Angels are on a roll. The Angels won again. Extended their win streak on Friday to 5 in a row. 5-2 victory against the Tigers in Anaheim. And 5, that's the number. Angels scored 5 runs or more in all 5 of their victories during this current stretch. They've outscored their opponents during this stretch, 27-10. Luis Rengifo, 2-run home run in the first. That made it 2-0. Logan O'Hoppe broke a 2-2 tie with a 2-out 3-run home run. That came in the 8th inning. Tigers, just 2 hits, couple of singles in the loss. Their 2 runs coming on a pair of bases-loaded walks in the 3rd inning. Cal Raleigh reaching on a fielder's choice. That brought in the game-winning run in the bottom of the 10th inning. Mariners opened up their home series against the Twins by taking the opener 3-2. 5th walk-off win of the season for the Mariners, their first since June 10th, when Raleigh hit a grand slam to walk it off against the Chicago White Sox. Bailey Ober, no decision, made the start for the Twins. Ober, 9 strikeouts, allowed just 1 run on 2 hits over 6. Carlos Correa put the Twins up 2-1 with a 2-run shot in the 6th inning. White Sox have won 2 in a row for the first time since early June. Friday, winning 5-3 on the south side of Chicago against the Colorado Rockies. Tommy Pham for the White Sox, capping a 4-run 6th inning with a 2-run single. That made it 5-2. Drew Thorpe, solid outing. 2 hits, 2 runs, 6 innings. Picked up the win, his 2nd straight. And Thorpe at one time retiring 16 in a row. Did that after giving up a leadoff single to start the game from Brenton Doyle. So Thorpe, a bright spot for the White Sox, called up recently and getting the job done. Speaking of call-ups, the Rays, up 1-0 in their series at home in St. Pete at Tropicana Field Friday night, beat the Nationals in the opener. Jose Siri, 2 home runs. Rays, 41-41. 16th time this year they've been at 500. Yes, I counted that out. Yandy Diaz reaching with a single in the 3rd inning. Diaz now has hit safely in a franchise record 20 in a row. Zach Eflin, the win, 6 scoreless innings. And reports on Friday, Nationals are planning on calling up top prospect James Wood as early as Monday. Why that news snuck out on Friday where they're going to bring him up on Monday. They open up a homestand, I believe, against the Mets on Monday. But Wood, it looks like, is going to come up, make his big league debut. That's a good shot in the arm for the Nationals. I'm really curious to see how they play the second half of the season. I'm expecting them to play winning baseball. I really am, especially Wood. They're now committing to him, bringing him up before the All-Star break, gets a couple of weeks under his belt. Considered the 3rd best prospect in all of minor league baseball and the best prospect in the Nationals minor league system. That according to MLBpipeline.com. Wood, just 21 years old, drafted 2nd round in 2021 by the Padres, and he was part of the deal that sent Juan Soto from the Nationals to the Padres. That trade was back in August of 2022, so we're coming up on 2 years since that deal. And, at some point maybe in the second half of the season, we check in on all the players that Juan Soto has been traded for. Nationals to the Padres, Padres to the Yankees during this offseason. One of those players in the deal, Michael King, is going to start for the Padres against the Red Sox at Fenway Park on Saturday, and sort of a homecoming for King. He was born in Rochester, New York, but graduated from high school in Rhode Island and then went to Boston College. He was drafted out of Boston College and then started his pro career, but King was part of the deal from the Yankees to the Padres, and he was a big part of that deal as well. So James Wood expected to make his major league debut at some point during the upcoming week for the Washington Nationals. That is a recap of day number 93 of the Major League Baseball regular season. We close out with Sugar's Random Thoughts, brought to you by the Yellow Rose of Talbot Bed and Breakfast in Easton, Maryland, right there on the beautiful Maryland Eastern Shore. Considering heading out to the Maryland Eastern Shore this summer, this fall, this winter, consider a stay at the Yellow Rose of Talbot B&B in Easton. Tell my sister Tammy, my brother-in-law Kenneth, that I sent you their way. Now, I love trying new things. So yesterday, it didn't take a lot. Maybe I should have been doing this sooner. But I put a LenoxOnBaseball poll up on X. Our first. Bases loaded, 2 outs. And this was part of our Sugar's Random Thoughts the other day. Bases loaded, 2 outs, late in the game, your team down 2 runs. Who are you sending to the plate? Steve Balboni or Gorman Thomas? At last check, I didn't check this morning, shame on me, about an hour left right now in that voting. You can scroll down on the X at LenoxOnBaseball. That LenoxOnBaseball poll is there. Who would you rather have up? Gorman Thomas or Steve Balboni with 2 outs, your team down 2 runs, and the bases loaded late in the game? Apparently, and this is me making fun of me, apparently 2 votes so far. Both for Gorman Thomas. So if there's no more voting in the next hour, I'm going to break that tie. I'm going to vote for Steve Balboni, former hitting coach of the Wilmington Blue Rocks in 1999, and Balboni will be the winner in that poll. Again, our random thoughts brought to you by the Yellow Rose of Talbot Bed and Breakfast in Easton, Maryland. On most days, we close out, and before we do that, just going to throw this out there as well. started a few weeks ago. I have another podcast that I'm now doing pretty much every day the Red Sox play. I've done it so far through first started up a couple of weeks ago when they were home against the Red Sox or the Phillies and the Yankees in a 6-game homestand. They took 4 of 6 in that stretch against 2 of the top teams in baseball. But right now, doing a Locked On Red Sox postcast, part of the Locked On Boston Sports Network and part of Locked On Sports as well. So that is available. We go live on the YouTube channel within minutes of the final out after Red Sox games. We'll do that later tonight. They play, I think, at 4:10, game 2 of that series against the Padres. If you have Boston Red Sox fans in the family or friends, and you want to put them onto a podcast, again, we go live. Then it's available wherever you get your podcasts as well. But Locked On Red Sox postcast, post-game, if you want to call it, but we call it a postcast on within minutes of the last out of every Red Sox game throughout the rest of the regular season. You want to call that a shameless plug? Go right ahead. That's what we do here. That's what we've created. I am the executive producer. I'm the director. I'm the talentless one as well. But that's what we do here. We make fun of ourselves. We continue to build. Join the poll. Join the conversation, comment section on the YouTube page as well. So I think we got it all out of there. I'm not even going to tell you to give us a follow with our Lennox on Baseball YouTube channel and also on the podcast as well. Wherever you get your podcasts, you can follow the audio version too. I'm not even going to tell you that today on this Saturday. Enjoy your weekend. Be safe. And as always, well, most times, former Aberdeen Ironbird intern Brian Holland sends us away.
Stop talking during the anthem. Go watch Steve Lennox's new podcast because Steve is the man.